To go.
Yes, sir. I think we'll be starting, sir. We'll start. Can you put on your camera, sir?
All right, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, sure.
Can you all see me?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. We can all see you, sir. Should we start, sir?
Okay.
Okay. Rajeshri, madam, you can start, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. A very happy afternoon to one and all present on this virtual platform. I, Assistant Professor Rajeshri Borkade, welcoming you all for this international webinar on the topic English, a Catalyst for 21st Century Careers. A feature of English that makes it different compared with all other languages is its global spread, by David Crystal. English is important for students as it broadens their minds, develops emotional skills, improves the quality of life by providing job opportunities. In order to survive in the 21st century, we need to be constantly updating new information about the world and us. Being able to understand English will give you the power to succeed. Early exposure to English helps to polish up and cultivate a good command of the language. Living in a globalized 21st century, it is important and relevant to be able to communicate to people from various parts of the world. English has become an universal language that is being taught all over the world. The increasing demand for English speaking applicants has made it an invaluable skill to master in order to have more career opportunities. Taking all these reasons into account, the Department of English has organized an international webinar on the topic English, a Catalyst for 21st Century Careers. To guide us and to tell us the importance of English in students' academic and professional life, today we have with us an eminent international personality, Dr. Pradip Mishra, from University of Nottingham, Malaysia. I request Dr. Fatima Sheikh, Head of English Department, to introduce our today's resource person. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajeshri, madam.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Rajeshri, madam. As head of English department, I take this wonderful opportunity towards getting our participants acquainted with the profile of our eminent resource person, Dr. Pradip K. Mishra. Dr. Pradip is a master's in English and American literature with a PhD awarded in 2002 on designing a remedial course for the learners of English at the +2 level in Orissa, India, focusing on the materials and methods in ELT, that is English language teaching. Though he specializes in creative and communicative teaching in ELT, he has been actively involved in tertiary teacher training and publishing in interdisciplinary fields related to tertiary education and transnational education. Sir has 37 years of teaching experience in Indian and Malaysian universities with Service Excellence Awards from 3 Malaysian universities. Sir has also been a recipient of Lord Daring Team Award from the University of Nottingham as a part of the Centre for Academic Partnerships and Engagement team for the outstanding contribution to the enhancement of the student experience. Currently, Dr. Pradip is an associate professor specializing in teacher training at the Centre for Academic Partnerships and Engagement in the University of Nottingham, Selangor, Malaysia, since 2017. And Sir is working for Bangladesh College Education Development, which is a World Bank project. With this very short introduction, sir, I once again welcome you as our eminent resource person on behalf of the principal and also KLE College, Navi, Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. Thank you very much for accepting your invite, sir. Over to you,
Thank you.
Rashid.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
madam, Rajeshri, madam, for the wonderful introduction and
Thank
your
you. Thank
kind
you.
words.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir. And thank you, Fatima ma'am, for highlighting background of our today's resource person. So without consuming too much time, I request our today's resource person, Dr. Pradip Mishra, to share your vast expertise and guide our students on the topic English, a catalyst for 21st century careers. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rasri madam. Thank you, Fatima madam, for all the wonderful and kind words about me. And I will try my best to share some of my experience, expertise on what we have decided to talk about.
Yes,
And may I
I'll
know
remove
who are my participants? May I know who are the participants who are in the audience?
So the students from all the undergraduate levels as well as faculty members, even PG
Okay, great.
students.
Thank you. And if you look at the chat box, I have given a link from polls everywhere. Can they link to that link on their smartphones or not so smartphones? And they can really post their responses just in 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, please. If you go to the chat box at the beginning, I have given a link on polleverywhere.com. Are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dear participants, dear friends, dear academic friends, dear students, dear... Okay. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen that I'm sharing with you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we are
my dear
able.
friends, okay, feel free to talk to me, okay? Because this is not a lecture. This will be a discussion kind of stuff, where we are going to share our views on what you have in your mind, what I have in my mind. We're going to exchange our thoughts on this. And you see what I have shared on the screen? What do you expect from this webinar today? Right? Just in 5 or 7 words. Can you link your smartphones or not so smartphones or your laptops, okay? And just post your responses in 2-3 minutes, please. That is where we're going to take it off from. I would like to know what exactly you're expecting of this. Are you okay with are you okay with my English and my speed, Hindustani English and my speed? Can you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
nice. Okay. That's nice. Somebody has already responded. Can you see the shared screen? Somebody posted how to avoid mistakes while speaking. That's great. Okay. That's nice. We are going to talk about it. How to avoid mistakes while speaking. That's a great question, actually. This is where most of us are lagging behind and we don't speak because we're afraid to make mistakes. No problem. Okay. Welcome. Importance of English and how to speak without nervousness. Okay. All right. More responses, please. I've told you minimum 5 words or maximum 7 words. Okay. Not more than 7 words. Right? The shorter it is, the better. Just kiss it. KISS. Keep it short and sweet. Keep it short and specific. Keep it short and solid. Keep it short and succinct. Keep it short and sharp. Okay. Quick. 2 more minutes. I have to see. Out of 66 participants, I have received only 2 responses. Not even 1%. How is that? Will help us to know more about the beauty of this language. All right, how to speak fluent English. Everybody's interested to speak English. That's fine. That's great. That is what I'm going to talk about today. All right. Yes, please. One more minute to go. Will not waste much time on this, but I understand that most of you are interested to know how to speak in English. The only way to speak in English is to speak in English. All right, okay. Advanced knowledge about English, all right? One more minute. How to speak fluently with confidence, okay. I expect to learn some additional aspects of English language, all right? Maybe we'll discuss some of them. All right. Would you mind switching on your cameras, please? Otherwise, I'll be talking just a blank wall. If you don't mind, you can switch on the cameras. That will add to our interaction, you see. I don't believe in action and reaction. I believe in interaction. So if you believe in interaction, and language communication is all about interaction, my dear friends. So if you do believe in interaction, please do switch on your cameras so that we can see each other, we can talk. That's the first principle of interaction. I mean, if you're not, it's not compulsory, but it'll be nice if you can. Yes, nice. Mohit, welcome back. Thank you, Mohit, for joining us on camera. Okay, so I think we'll not waste much time on this. Okay, it's already 17 minutes past 6. Sorry for the technical glitch. Okay, so these are the responses we have received from some of you. I expect to learn some additional aspects of English language, how this language can really help us to march forward with our life, with our career, with our profession in the future. How to speak fluently with confidence. Okay, that's a good question. Advanced knowledge about English, of course. How to speak fluent English. All right, I got it. Will help us to know more about the beauty of this language. All languages are beautiful, whether it is Marathi or Bangla or Punjabi or Oriya or Hindi or English, all languages are beautiful. The only thing is, are you learning it for duty or are you learning it for beauty? Okay. Importance of English and how to speak without nervousness, okay, and how to avoid mistakes while speaking. Mistakes will be there, but the most important thing, my dear friends, is to take from the mistakes. Okay, without mistakes, we cannot learn. We'll talk about it later. All right, I think this brings us to the end of this sharing session, all right, and I will stop sharing and go back to my PowerPoint slides, but before that, would you mind switching on your cameras if you are with me? That's nice, okay. And feel free to raise your physical hand or digital hand on the screen to ask questions if you have any. And by the way, do you understand my English and are you okay with my speed? Do you understand my English and my speed? Are you okay with that? Thumbs up. Thumbs up, please. That's great. Thank you, Fatima ma'am. Only Fatima ma'am knows how to thumbs up. Thank you, Rajshri madam. Yes. Thank you. Fantastic. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free. Feel free to ask. You know, there was a research which was done in Germany, and they found out, that the students who are asking the maximum number of why, how, are the toppers in the class. Kyun? Why? Who can tell me? Open house question, OHQ. Why were the toppers in the class? Anybody? You see, nobody wants to speak out. How is that? Level of interaction must go up. Okay, let me tell you, these students who were asking the maximum number of how, why, were the toppers because they were curious, because they were critical thinkers, because they wanted to explore more, because they wanted to know more, because they are not happy with closed-ended questions. If I ask you how is the sunrise and you just say one word, beautiful, that doesn't tell me anything. But if I ask you why is it beautiful, then you start asking yourself. Then you start asking your mind. You start asking your heart. You start asking your eyes. Where is the beauty? Where does the beauty lie? In fact, the beauty lies in your eyes, right? And then the eyes are going to perceive where is the beauty coming from. They start asking these questions, right? The most important thing is you need to ask yourself, right? Why am I doing something? most of the lecturers in the world, they tell you what to do. Not only that, there are many great lecturers who tell you how to do. But the most important thing, my dear friends, when I call you my dear friends, means I take you as my academic friends. You are not my students, okay? You are my academic friends. We are learning things together, right? If that is the case, right, I always believe that we should believe in exchanging thoughts. And this is a forum where there is an exchange of thoughts. The big question is, are you prepared for a change? You'll not get the best of this exchange unless you are prepared for a change. And the change has come. Let me share my PowerPoint. Okay, before we start, do you have any questions on the polls everywhere and the responses you had? Any questions, please? Why my academic friends are so silent? Anna, any question, please? Any
No,
question?
sir.
If you're not very comfortable with English, you can ask in Hindi. I think I understand a bit of Hindi. That's not a problem. Yeah, because I'm made in India, so that's not an issue. Yes, no questions. No questions is my different two things. No questions means either you have understood everything I have been talking about or you have not understood anything I have been talking about. Which group do you belong to, my dear friends? Hopefully, the first category where you have understood everything. Okay, before wasting much time, without wasting much time, I will take you to my PowerPoint slides where I want to share my views, and then you are most welcome to raise your digital hand or a physical hand if you have any questions to ask, okay? Feel free to do that. Thank you. When I'm taking some digital time, feel free to ask me questions if you have any. I understand that Indian students do have a lot of questions, but I really wonder why they're not asking questions. How is that? Okay, let me share my screen first.
Pradip, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a past student of mine, Anna. You might be seeing Anna Khan.
Sorry?
There is a student of mine from Dubai, Anna Khan.
Okay,
Yeah.
Anna, welcome.
Anna, do you have any question?
No, I have just joined it right now.
Okay, nice. Welcome.
Thank you. So nice to see you.
Yes, Sheetal, any question? Sheetal Upadhyay?
Yeah, when I'm taking some digital time just to change the screens, if you have any questions, you're most welcome to ask me, okay? No problem.
No, ma'am, I don't have.
What about Pravina? Pravina, are you there? Pravina?
Are you able to
Yes?
see my screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are able to.
Okay, you don't have to call me sir, you just call me PK. That's my
Okay,
campus
PK.
nickname, no problem, okay?
Fine,
Yes,
PK.
so
Thank you.
this title is English, a Catalyst for a 21st Century Career. And if you're studying science, who can tell me what is the meaning of a catalyst? Who can tell me the meaning of a catalyst? Anyone, please?
It has to react fast to chemicals.
Correct. Meaning thereby, if you have the qualification, you have the experience, you have the expertise, and you have a bit of English, it is going to really expedite your job, expedite your career. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Who was that? Rajalakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm PK, you just call me PK. I'm working as a university teacher, and my job is now to work in a World Bank project where we are training the lecturers, the assistant professors, associate professors, principals, and vice principals from Bangladesh in this World Bank project, okay, where we are teaching them how to teach. And also besides that, we are training our principals and vice principals on leadership and management. That's my job now. It's a lovely job where we are really teaching the teachers as to how to teach we are helping the principals and vice principals how to lead the colleges so that the tertiary education in Bangladesh will be much better. Thank you. Okay, I have this question for you. Not a question exactly. What do you think about the statement from Mark Twain? The two most important days in your life are the day when you are born and the day you find out why. Anybody would like to comment on this? Anyone who would like to comment on this? Why the statement from Mark Twain, the novelist, is important?
Because
Why?
this period is
Yes,
so
Rajalakshmi.
important to you learn fast in these days, language or anything, you observe more.
Actually, sir,
Yeah,
I'm
that's one
also
thing. Okay,
wondering.
okay. All right. Yes, Shital, please.
Actually, sir, I'm also wondering what is the existence of my mind.
Please speak louder, please.
We
Okay.
have
Shital,
to
I didn't get
find the
your point. What
purpose
was
of
that?
our life.
Yes, Amanpreet Saboli.
Sir, we have to find
Amanpreet.
the purpose of our life.
Correct. I love this statement. You must ask yourself, okay, as to what am I doing and why am I doing this? If I'm studying something, if I'm studying in this wonderful college, why am I studying and where is it leading me to? This is important. The question why is going to justify as to where are you, how are you, and where you should be. That's very important, you see. All right. Today is important day. Why? Have a look at this. Today is the best of the rest of your life. Why is that? Because yesterday is gone. Tomorrow, unknown. Today is cash. Today is the best of the rest of your life, and today will not come back tomorrow for sure. And today you have decided to start thinking something new as to why should we learn English and how is it important for us in life, right? And once you have taken this decision, once you have decided to change yourself, it is going to change you. Change you means it's going to discover something new in you. Once you have discovered something new in you, means you become a new you. Am I making sense? Thumbs up. Do you get my point? Are you okay with me?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Any comments on this? Learning objectives, we have 3 simple objectives, okay? Anna, why should we learn English? That's a question that every Indian is asking. Every
So it's
student is asking, not just in India. Sorry?
yeah, it's the most important thing, in this world. We need to learn English wherever you are, whatever
Correct.
you do. It's a lingua franca, so you should be aware of it.
Correct. Fantastic. You see, I don't say Marathi is bad. I don't say Oriya is bad. Urdu is bad. Arabic is bad. Okay. Or Punjabi is bad. Or Telugu is bad. Or Tamil is bad. Or Urdu is bad. No. All these languages are good. But English is very good. Because
It makes
all
you
the languages.
connects you with the world, right? It connects you with the
Correct.
world, so it's really
Fantastic.
important.
Fantastic. You're just spot on, Anna. Thank you for interacting with me. Okay. You're just, I think I find a small PK in you. Okay. That's great. Nice. I love that. Okay. What I want to tell you is, yes, you are right. All the languages that we're talking about are passports. English is the visa. If you have a passport and no visa, where are you going to travel? How are you going to see the world? Where can you look for a job? Today's job are asking you to work a cube, A. What does it mean? Anytime, anything, anywhere. How will you do that if you just confine yourself to your mother tongue or just to Hindi or just to any Indian vernacular language? You have to take one step forward. So the first learning objective that we have is why should we learn English? Are you convinced about it, Anna?
Yes,
This is a question, yes,
absolutely.
thumbs up. This is a question that you have to ask yourself every day before going to bed. Mastering English for life and work. What can I do to master English? I tell you, go to the big companies of the world today. You go to Google, you go to Microsoft, you go to Pepsi, you go to Coca-Cola, you go to a board company, you go to Silicon Valley in America. Okay, 47% of the people are from India. Hats off to Indians. They have got the experience, they have got the knowledge, they have got the qualification. What they have got extra is the power of English. Am I making sense?
It's so true. And the English,
Yes,
I
sir.
have always loved the way Indians speak English.
Correct.
Apart from the native speakers, if I consider, I have always found Indian way of speaking is really good.
Yeah, it's good, really good, and it's acceptable. I mean, it's accepted throughout the world. I don't speak English. I speak English, Hindustani English. But you can understand me, I can understand you. The purpose of a language is just to be understood. As long as you can be understood, it's fine, no problem. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Microsoft, he doesn't speak English. He has a mixed accent of Hindustani English and American English, okay? But still people understand him throughout. So what's very important is the understandability. What's very important is, are you able to put your ideas across the table? Are you able to present your ideas across the table? If you want to succeed in this world, I tell you, you need 3 P's. What are the 3 P's? People skills. Number 2, presentation skills. Number 3, persuasive skills. Ask yourself before applying for any job, do I have these skills? And for all these 3 skills, I tell you, what will come as a gold ticket, what will come as a catalyst, what will come as a bonus, what will come as a gift is your power of English. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's time we should ask ourselves as to why are we learning English? Number 2, why should we master and how can we master English for life and work? And exploring English for 21st century careers. Which are the careers? I know there are so many of you, who are learning English, who don't want to become teachers of English. Okay, so what? It's not a question of so what, it's a question of now what. Okay, I don't want to become a teacher of English, no problem. There are so many professions where English can be of great help to you, no doubt about that. Okay, that is what I'm going to talk about. Which are the other areas where English can really help you to look for a bright future? Okay, are you okay with my speed?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Are you okay with my Hindustani English?
Yes, sir. Perfectly okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, thank you.
Perfect.
That's great. I'm so lucky. Thank you for accepting me as I am. Thank you. Okay, so this was your learning objective and now it's learning outcomes. Okay, very simple. We're exploring the relevance of English in the 21st century career. All right. I don't say you should forget your mother tongue. No, you will not believe I do not speak a single word of English at home, even if my family speak better English than I do. You know what I mean? What I mean is, I respect my mother tongue 100%, whether it is Marathi or Urdu or Arabic or Punjabi or whatever it is, I respect it 100%. You know what I mean? Right? But
Yes, sir.
your mother tongue is already a part of your blood, like WBC, RBC. It's part of your, it's like your DNA, RNA. But when you learn a new language, it's a passport. Or even if you have a passport, it's like a visa, right? It gives you the cutting edge. It gives you the license. It shows you the gateway to explore another world, right? So we're exploring the relevance of English, why English is so important in the 21st century. Number 2, propose strategies. How can we improve the skills in English? Number 3, scope of English in 21st century careers. Okay, you don't want to teach English. You don't want to become a teacher like me or Dr. Fatima, right? No problem. There are hundreds of other avenues where English can be of great help to you. And I tell you, take a statistics. People who have got the career going forward for them, people who have gone up in their career, people who have got quick promotions, people who have gone to the top of their career, okay, in the whole world are the people who have the experience, who have the expertise, and also who have the English. Making sense? So
Yes, sir.
scope of English in the 21st century cannot be underestimated by anybody, by any faculty in any country for whatsoever the reason may be. Any questions, please? Question time. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, most welcome.
I have 2 daughters, and I have been treating them like from the day one. I have always talked with them in English, and all the conversation is done in English with them. So I'm a little confused because my daughters are a mixture of English and Urdu. They are neither too good in Urdu and they are neither too good in English. They're like in between somewhere. So I want to know how to, tackle this situation, because they cannot be mastered in any one of these. Neither in English,
That's a
neither
good
Urdu. They are
question.
somewhere in
Okay,
the
that's a
middle.
very good question. I give you an example. Like when I come back home, I don't speak a single word in English. When I go back to campus, I don't speak a single word in Hindustani or Urdu or Oriya. That's my mother tongue, right? So these are two compartments we have to respect.
Yeah.
When we talk about English, we have to respect English. Make it a rule. I had a teacher. I was studying in Sainik School, Bhubaneswar, or is that was a military school. We had a Hindi teacher. Okay, we had a Hindi teacher, and he made it a rule that nobody is going to talk to me in any other language except Hindi. You get my point? His English was very good. His Oriya was good. Okay. I think he was from, I think if I'm not wrong, he was from Tamil Nadu. Tamil was very good, right? But he made it a point. This is the rule. This is the principle, right? That once we respect a language, we have to do everything in that language. Then only.
So how should we master this? Like, how should we make sure that we give good English also, and we at the same time they are learning their mother language also?
Mother tongue is automatic.
Okay.
Mother tongue is spontaneous. Mother tongue will
so I should
come
talk
to
with
your
them in
children
English?
like, okay, mother tongue will come to your children like leaves come to a tree automatically, naturally, spontaneously. You don't have to teach them that unless you are making a hybrid or a mixture, a blending of the two. Like I have seen so many families, in India, when they go back from some.
Hello, Manpreet.
Okay, maybe we'll take up these questions after I finish my discussions, okay? It's a bit digressing, no problem. Anna, thank you for the question. Yes, so when you look at the personal reasons, let me tell you, the personal reasons why, Anna will get back to your question very shortly, okay? Thank you. That's a good question, actually. It's a very relevant question. I like it. It's really not your problem. It's an Indian problem. It's a metro problem. It's a problem with the migrant population. It's a problem with the expats. It's a problem with all Indians who have left India. They're just undecided which way to swing, whether it's the mother tongue or the foreign tongue, right? We'll talk about it. But there are ways to tackle that. It's not a problem. The only thing is we should know how to keep them in two watertight compartments. When it is English, only English. When it is Urdu, only Urdu. Chapter closed. The moment parents start mixing that, children will also take that license of mixing it. And at one point of time, we'll find that neither good at Urdu nor good at English. And then become what is called a hodgepodge thing, like what you call in India, a khichdi. You know what I mean? Right? That should not happen.
Yeah.
That should not happen. That is going to spoil their language. That is going to spoil their vocabulary. That is going to spoil the presentation skills. And that is also going to spoil the personality when it comes to future job, future career. Am I making sense? Thank you. It's a great question. I love the question. Okay. So when you think of why am I learning English, okay. Number one, it is easy. You compare Malayalam, you compare Telugu, you compare Hindi, you compare Urdu, Arabic, okay, or any language, and you compare English. You can do everything just within 26 letters. No other language, I think, is as easy as English, right? Next, you see, English is a busy language. 1.6 billion people in the world speak English, either as a mother tongue, as a first language, or as a second language. It's an easy peasy language. You can flow with it. Okay. English flows like a river if you know how to flow with it. It's a crazy language. It has got to know it is able to adapt so many languages, so many words from different languages and make it so new. It's so crazy about it. And now these days, in the Corona times, we have got so many hybrid words. Okay. And no matter, it is a speak easy language, right? I mean, if you really take interest, if you fall in love with English, it's very easy to catch. And let me tell you, 400 million people in the world speak English as their mother tongue. It's the native language. Okay. Education related reasons, very much. Okay. And all of us are in education, all of us are in academia, all of us are studying, all of us are in tertiary education. We should know why it is important. Right? Number one, access to higher education. Okay, up to your school level, it's fine. You can still manage with the vernacular language, but once you come to college, once you come to university, yes, you'll find everything in English. That is good because That is the way forward. Okay? It will give you an access to higher education. It also gives an access to students' exchange and campus mobility. Let's suppose I give an example of you coming over to this place, University of Nottingham, and studying here. University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus will send you to University of Nottingham campus in UK, or University of Nottingham, China campus, right? And when you go for the inter-campus mobility, when there is a students' exchange program, you will find that, yes, your mastery of English is helping you a lot to get along with life, get along with studies, right? Important programs and courses are all delivered in English in most of the universities, no doubt about it. Even if you go to Russia, you go to China, you go to Germany, you go to Korea, you go to Japan, right? You'll find all the important courses and programs are taught in English. All the top universities of the world. You go to QS ranking, you'll find all the top universities in the world are teaching in English. And medium of instruction, no doubt, is English. So that is why if you want to go beyond the borders, if you want to go beyond the horizon, if you want to take up a career which is in your dreams and you think of leaving India, at least I am not asking you to brain drain. What I'm telling you is, okay, whether it is east or the west, let us learn from the best. Meaning thereby, when you think of making a career, sometimes you have to go to the best. If you want to be the best, you have to be amongst the best. And sometimes when you plan to go and share your views or ideas, you want to learn something from the best, you have to go to the West. And that is where English is going to help you in a big way. Right?
Yes, sir.
Any questions on this? Are you convinced with my points or not?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thank you. Yes. And jobs, no doubt about it. Hello, my dear friends. Let me tell you one thing. I was teaching in India for almost 18 years. I have also taught in Malaysia for 18 years. And I find children are studying English and English and English right from kindergarten till they complete the graduation. But when it comes to interviews, they're not able to speak English for 15 minutes. Kyun? Why is that? Who can tell me? Why is that? Any response, please? So let me tell you one thing very frankly. These days, if you're going for interviews, let me tell you, right, they are not having a one-to-one interview in most of the MNCs, multinational companies. Multinational companies have what is called LAC. LAC means Learning Assessment Centers. If you go for a job, they will put you in a group of other candidates who applied for the job. They will give you a problem, right? And they'll give you the parameters, the issues, and your job is to find out a solution to the problem by discussing with the group and then presenting to the group, right? And the best presenter will be selected for the job. Chapter closed. Right? You see, where is the world heading for? The world is heading for all the 21st century skills: communication, collaboration, cooperation, critical thinking, computing skills, confidence, competence, charisma. All these things are going to blend into your job. So English is very, very important for job interviews. You must ask yourself before going for any job, before applying for any job, can I speak a few words in English independently? Okay. Next, English is going to help you to live and work anywhere. Right? You cannot say, no, I belong to Maharashtra. I just want to be posted in Maharashtra. Okay, that's not going to work. You may be posted in any part of the world, any part of India. Even India is a vast country, the subcontinent of 211 dialects and 17 constitutional languages, right? You may be, let's suppose you are from Maharashtra, you may be posted in Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra Pradesh or Orissa, and you do not know English. You'll have a very tough time because they will not understand your Marathi, will not understand their Tamil or Telugu or Oriya or Urdu or Malayalam, whatever is that, right? So what is the link language? The link language is English. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
So you must be prepared. You must be prepared for that, what I told you, okay? WWW means whatever, whenever, wherever. Are you prepared to be posted on WWW basis? Are you prepared for AAA? Anytime, anything, anywhere. Are you prepared for that kind of a job? If you are prepared for that, then the world is yours and you must be prepared to live and work anywhere. If that is the case, you have to learn and master English. That is going to take a few steps ahead, right? It's the language of migration. It is the language of migration. Whether you are migrating from Kashmir to Kerala or from Calcutta to Goa, okay, you may be migrating within the country or outside the country. The only language that is going to help you to have a smooth sailing is English. Basic and professional training. You go for any training these days, anywhere in the world, okay, the first thing is they will ask you, do you have the competency in English? You apply for any job, any education, even for higher education in the Western countries, even for a university where I'm teaching now, they will ask you whether you have the IELTS score, you have the TOEFL score, or you have the PET score. So PTE score, right? Pearson test of English, or test of English is a foreign language, right? Or international English language teaching systems, IELTS, right? So you should be having these 3 scores, meaning thereby they would like, I have seen there are so many Indian students who tell me, no, we have studied in English medium school. So what? Even if we have studied in English medium schools, we have never spoken in English. Am I making sense? What
Yes, sir.
what we have got, I'm not, please do not misunderstand me, right? I'm not trying to pull your legs down, right? But this is the fact of life.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
We have made a hodgepodge of all the languages. You see, we are not able to put them in watertight compartment. This is what Anna was asking me. What am I going to do with my children who are neither good at Urdu nor good at English? I said, okay, it's high time you have to discipline them. And before you start disciplining your children, you have to discipline yourself as a parent, as a teacher. There is so much of similarity between parents and teachers. Teachers are first and parents. Sorry. Parents are first and teachers are second and parents, right? Similarly, home is the first school and school is the second home. So all these things have to start from home, you see. That's what we're talking about. So training is the most important thing. And yes, and don't forget about these 4 C's I'm talking about: communication, collaboration, and you have to also take culture into consideration plus the calibration. Calibration means, are you able to blend yourself with different cultures? Because learning English is going to help you to go for a kind of cultural calibration. So all these points are very important. If you know English, right, your jobs can be taken care of. It doesn't matter. Even if you are not good at your subject, but if you are good at English, there are people to take you because you have got the communication skills. You can take the job forward because you know how to take yourself forward, right? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat box, right? Okay. Yes. So let's suppose you don't want to get into the job. You want to get into business. Okay, fine, no problem. Even if you get into business, you know, you must know. No business is complete without meetings. No business is complete without presentations. No business is complete without customer care. No business is complete without negotiations. And no business is complete without correspondence. And you cannot say that I want to correspond with my mother tongue. I want to conduct my meetings in mother tongue. It's not going to happen. The only language which can save your life, save your job is English. You don't believe me? You ask the people who are in good jobs, in good companies, in MNCs, they will tell you the only language which is keeping their job intact, which is helping them to march forward, which is helping them for networking is English. You see, there was a time when hardworking mattered. Times have changed, right? Now networking matters. Am I making sense? There was a time
Yes,
how
sir.
much you know was more
Yes,
important.
sir.
There was a time how much you knew was more important. Times have changed. Now the question is, whom do you know? Whom do you know means talking about networking, my dear friends. And when you talk about networking, you must know the language, you must know their culture, you must know their business, you must know their correspondence, you know the way they present, you must know the way they negotiate, you must know the way they care for customer, you must know the way they also meet and greet and then take things forward. And for that, language is going to be a big link, no doubt about that. Right? Do you agree with me or not? 100%.
So I have just one
Yes.
doubt.
Yes, please.
That how much basic grammar we should know to speak English fluently?
Grammar, let me tell you, that's a great question, Rajalakshmi. Let me tell you, grammar is not to be taught, it is to be caught. You know what I mean?
Okay, sir.
There are so many students who have studied grammar books and grammar books and grammar books right from the childhood, but they're not able to speak to sentences in English or write correctly. Okay, I don't say grammar is bad. Grammar is good for foundation. But when it comes to tertiary skills, when it comes to this kind of a thing, when you are tackling life, you know, the more of immersion you have, what called immersion, you know what is called immersion? The more you blend yourself into the language, the quicker you catch it. Do you know that we are teaching English for the last so many years, okay? for centuries in India, but then actually the students learn more English from outside the classroom than it is taught inside the classrooms. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
How is that? Why is that? Who can tell me? Radhalakshmi. Boliye. Why do you think it
So
is
can
so?
you repeat for one?
Sorry?
Can you repeat your question?
My question is, why is that our children, our friends, our students learn more English from outside the classroom than it is taught in the classroom? Am I making my
Because
point clear?
they are feeling comfortable with their friends. They watch English movies, songs very interesting instead of in class.
Correct. Class is so formal, outside is so informal. Right. And there is
Yes,
another
sir.
thing to tell you, in the classroom, there is so much of teaching that there is little learning. With due apology to all the teachers here, let me tell you, I have been a teacher for the last 37 years. Now I find we don't have to teach, we have to help our students to learn. Right, that is not happening, unfortunately, in many classrooms, in many colleges. That is, as Radhalakshmi said, our students feel more comfortable with their friends. Our students feel more comfortable when they're having fun time in English outside. Our students feel more comfortable with films. Our students feel more comfortable with music, right? Our students feel more comfortable with newspapers and magazines outside, which are not available inside the classroom. My question is, my appeal to the teachers here is, we should get the outside classroom into the classroom so that there'll be blending of the outside with the inside. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
What I mean is, if I'm talking about a character from a drama, can I ask my students to see a film related to the drama, to the theme, or to the character, or to the motive, or to the setting? They will see the film outside on their own, and they will come back to relate the film to the drama or to the novel that is being taught in the classroom. Is it possible or not? Will that not be more interesting? You know what I mean? This is what is called TBL. This is what is called PBL, task-based learning and problem-based learning. This is unfortunately not happening in hundreds of thousands of classrooms. So my appeal to the teachers is that we need to go for that kind of a teaching where students will feel important. It is not for the teachers, it's for the students, right? Who should get the best benefit, you see? In India, we are paying. The question is, in India, all of us are paying, including the students are paying VAT. You know what it's called, VAT? What is VAT? What is VAT? Are you not paying VAT in India? What is VAT? Anybody?
Value-added tax.
Value-added tax.
Sandhya is smart. Sandhya is smart. Value-added tax, right? If students are paying value-added tax, my question to the colleges is that, are they giving value-added teaching? Am I making sense? Are the colleges giving value-added teaching? We are teaching so much, we are covering our courses. The big question we should ask is, it's not what we cover in the classroom which is important, what we discover, right? Have we discovered that our students cannot speak in English? Have we discovered that our students cannot write a resume? Have we discovered that our students cannot attend meetings and write the minutes of a meeting? Have we discovered that if the problem is given to us, our students cannot present? Have we discovered our students lack the negotiation skills? Have we discovered that our students lack the customer care when they are put on the front line? These are the skills you should be teaching our students along with the studies so that when they pass out of the colleges, they're smart. They should not be just school smart, but they should be street smart. Making sense? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my dear children. Okay, I call you big children, don't mind. Okay. All right. Businesses, science and technology, you see? How can you neglect English? They are everywhere, okay? You may leave English, but English is not going to leave you, my dear friends. If you want to fall in love with anything, anybody fall in love with English, right? And why it is important in science? It is important in science because we're talking about scientific collaboration. You think of any research, you think of any seminar, you think of any webinar, you think of anything that's going on in the world today in terms of research and development, it's all in English. Seminars or conferences, most of the seminars or conferences, any part of the world is conducted in English. And even if there are speakers and presenters and researchers, okay, students are coming from different parts of the world, they have agreed unanimously that yes, we are going to have all the intellectual discourse in English because that is the only language which is understood by everybody. Language of IT, information and technology. Do you know that 95% of the computers in the world use English? Right? www, World Wide Web. I call it whatever, whenever, wherever you go. The language of internet is English. And most importantly, if you're looking into research, you're looking into publication, looking into the world of knowledge, looking into the fact that I want to know more and more and more, then English is the gateway. That is the language which gives you an access to whatever you want to know. Let me tell you one thing, my dear friends. What you know, or what I know, or what we know is limited. What I do not know, what you do not know, what we do not know is unlimited. When you take a SIM card data plan, whether it is Airtel or Voda or Jio or whatever the company may be, are you asking for a limited plan or unlimited data plan? Hello, my dear friends, tell me.
Unlimited data plan.
Unlimited.
The data plan, Sandhya, if the data plan can be unlimited, why are you not asking for unlimited knowledge? Making sense?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So that is the time we should think about it. Okay, the world of knowledge is unlimited. So it's time we have to explore what is this limitless knowledge that you should be exploring. And English is the language is going to give an access to. Let me tell you, these days the world has changed. I have seen hundreds of husbands who wake up in the morning, they are not looking for wife, they're looking for Wi-Fi. Hello, my dear friends.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They're not looking for wife, they're looking for where is my Wi-Fi. And there are hundreds of thousands of wives, they wake up in the morning, they're not looking for husband, they're looking for where is my broadband. Am I making sense? What I mean
Yes,
is,
sir.
this is the world of internet in which we live. It has become so important. Without the screen, we cannot live. The moment we open our eyes, a screen must be opened before eyes, whether it is a small screen or a medium screen or a big screen. Right? Small screen is your phone, medium screen is your laptop, okay, or iPad or your desktop, and the big screen is that television. Right? You find out before going to bed today how much time are you spending on the screen. You'll find more than half of your wake-up time, right, is spent on the screen. You may be a young ager, you may be an old ager, but you have all become screen agers. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
whatever you find on the screen, I tell you, 90% of the stuff are in English. That is the way we are going about. So you cannot say no to English. That will be a foolish thing to say that we don't want to learn English. This is the only language which will take you forward, your career forward, your children forward, and your family forward, right? Okay. If that is the case, let's see how can we master. Why listening skills come first? See, there are 4 skills in any language, right? Whether it is English or Urdu, or Arabic or Hindi or Malayalam or Telugu or Tamil or Konkan, right? Or Marathi. 4 skills are there. Which are the 4 skills?
Listening, speaking, writing, and reading.
What is the correct sequence, Sital? Your sequence is not right, please. What is the correct sequence? The first thing that a baby learns is listening. You are right. The second skill
Then
that a
we
baby
try
learns
to
is...
speaking.
Sorry?
Then we try to speaking.
Listening, speaking, and then writing.
No. Please, would you mind
First
correcting
we
yourself?
listen.
So, listening, speaking, reading, writing.
All right.
Why?
Okay, sir.
Am I making sense or talking nonsense? You tell me, Sandhya.
Yes,
Sandhya,
sir. Yes,
madam,
sir.
boliye.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so? You must ask yourself, why has God given 2 ears and 1 mouth? We have to listen
Yes, sir.
more and more and more and speak less.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Meaning thereby, listening is input, speaking is output. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't speak out, you'll be output. Right? If you don't speak out, there is no output, you'll be put out, right? So listening comes first, speaking comes second, and the next is reading. That is where God has given us 2 eyes to read and read and read and 1 hand to write. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So reading is the input. Writing is the output. So the receptive skills are listening and reading. Input, right? Output are speaking and writing, the productive skills. If there is no input, how can you get output? I have seen there are so many colleges in India where English is taught in the mother tongue. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So how my question is how can you teach swimming with the help of a bicycle or bicycling? Can you do that?
No,
It's
sir.
not possible.
It has
No,
to be
sir.
taught through swimming. Am I making sense? So how can you teach English with Marathi in Marathi? How can you teach English in Telugu? How can I teach English in Oriya? Or how can you teach English in Hindi? English has to be taught in English. This is the
That's
first
the
mistake that hundreds of thousands of lecturers and teachers are getting into throughout the country. Please do not misunderstand me. I'm sorry if I've hurt anybody's feelings, but no offense, no hard feelings. This is a blunder that we are committing in the classrooms. English must be taught through English. Even that is all. This is also a word of caution to all the parents, young parents, if they are here, right? Unfortunately, it is not there at home. It is still a kind of hodgepodge, a mixed language where the mother tongue is mixed with English. English is mixed with mother tongue. That is why our children are confused which language to master. I remember I had a PET teacher when I was doing my A-levels in Sainik school, right? And he used to come in the afternoon and ask me, okay, how many boys are there jisne khana nahi khaya? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is a kind of hybrid language that all of us are getting into, you see, and this is coming mainly from the media. Even if it comes from the media, we as intellectuals should be able to filter the language to find out what is right, what is wrong. Yes, I'm coming back to the point now. The most important thing is the first skill that we must help ourselves and our children, our students to learn is the listening skill. And how can we do that? Very simple. I'm not giving you difficult ideas or difficult tricks or difficult strategies. I'm not teaching you rocket science or astrophysics or nuclear physics. I'm just giving you simple ideas, right? Sometimes simple things can be very forceful, provided you know how to employ that, right? The first thing is you must set up SMART goals. By SMART goals, okay, what I mean is SMART is an acronym, my dear friends. Okay, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for responsible, T stands for timely. Making sense? Hello, my dear friends.
Yes, sir.
So when you think, I'm not able to see anybody. I get so disappointed when I cannot see anybody on the screen. It's like talking to a blank wall, right? I feel so sad about that. Okay, when you think of SMART goals, right, you must ask yourself, have I decided to improve my English? Simple thing, okay, talking about listening skills. Have I decided that I'm going to listen something in English today for half an hour? After listening, am I prepared to close my eyes and then think about it to summarize what I have listened to? Can you measure that? Having done that, you see the input and the output and see how much you have achieved. You have listened to, let's suppose you have listened to a podcast, right? You have listened to a documentary or you have watched a cinema or a documentary, okay? And you are jotting down the important points from there. Are you able to achieve that? Relevant. Is it relevant for improvement? Is it relevant for your studies? Is it relevant for your job? Is it relevant for your future? Is it relevant for your life? You have to ask that. And most importantly, timely. Am I listening to the right stuff at the right time for the right cause, for the right goal? These are the things you need to ask. That is why I tell you, whatever you do, you must have a SMART goal, right? Yes, I know radio is something that is outdated, but radio is something invaluable, priceless, and you will not believe even today, at the age of 58, I'm listening to the radio at least 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours when I'm at the driving seat. I switch on my radio, right? And I can listen to any program in English. So you can listen to the radio. It's a wonderful thing because it's not going to distract vision, okay? You can still do a lot of things while listening to the radio, right? TV news, you must watch. Whether it is English news from India or from the Republic, or from Doordarshan, or BBC, or Voice of America, Radio Australia, or ABC, or CBS, okay, or whatever the channel may be, you must make it a point that am I listening to the news every day, right? Podcasts, there is hundreds of thousands of podcasts available, audiobooks, okay, are available, and we tell you that. And is there anybody, I mean, when you think about Indian children now, I have not seen anybody, any Indian student who comes to college without a phone, and every phone has got smart features. Okay, either you have a smartphone or not, or a not so smartphone, it doesn't matter. Right. The point is, are you able to use your smartphone or not so smartphone in a smart way? You can do that. And I tell you, tons of materials are available free of cost. You must find out which one am I going to listen to, which is going to help my listening skills. I tell you, this is the input, okay? Random speakers and random topics. Okay? Keep listening. Always be a good listener, I tell you. That's very, very important. Because this is the input. Unless you have a lot of input, you cannot get the output. Okay, why is it that people who are dumb are deaf? It's because they cannot get anything inside. They're not able to speak out anything. Am I right? Making sense? No response. How is that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that is why you make it a point to listen to random speakers or random topics, okay, as many times as possible. And don't forget the formula rasa, juice, or whatever you call that, okay? And it's an acronym. Very interesting and very, very applicable when you think of listening, okay? When you listen something, are you prepared to receive? Sometimes, you know, you are physically active but mentally inactive. There are hundreds of children who come to the classroom, they're physically present but mentally absent. They are switched off, they're elsewhere, you know, so they're not prepared to receive, okay? You will not believe, when I was a graduate student in Orissa, I used to take notebooks. There were no computers, no phones, no internet, nothing of that sort. I used to carry a notebook for every subject, for every period. Whatever the lecturer used to tell me, I used to jot down and take down every word that he spoke. And then I go back home, compare it with my textbook, and prepare and make notes. You must understand the difference between taking notes and making notes. My dear friends, who can tell me the difference between taking notes and making notes? Who can tell me the difference between taking notes and making notes? I'm not asking you difficult questions, right? Simple words. Anybody would like to tell me? Let's suppose Fatima madam is lecturing. Okay, you like to jot down certain ideas. That is taking notes. When you leave the class and then refer to other materials in the library or from the internet or from reference books, and you are trying to blend whatever Fatima madam has taught you and trying to prepare your notes for exams or for your understanding, you are making notes. So please do make it a habit to take notes and make notes. And don't try to write on the screen. I know there are children, you know, who can write on the hand phone, on the cell phone, on the mobile phone, the electric speed. They have stopped using these pens and pencils, you see. Till today, I'm using a pen and a pencil. And the pencil is more important. Kyo? Who can tell me why the pencil is more important than the pen? Anybody who can tell me?
We can rub the mistakes.
Sorry, Rajalakshmi?
We can rub the mistakes.
Correct. I love that answer. Because a pencil can help you to have a second thought. A pencil can help you to make a mistake and to correct it. A pencil can help you to also to keep on thinking new ideas, right? And most importantly, what do you do when the graphite or the lead becomes blunt? You can sharpen it, right? You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So like you sharpen your pencil, you know. See, I have a sharpener also. So like you sharpen your pencil, hello my dear friends, you must sharpen your mind every day. Because the mind gets blunt, right? That is why you see, given a comparison pen and pencil, I use a pencil. Pencil is more useful, you see. And that is why I come to this Rasa formula for listening, okay? You must be prepared to receive. You must be prepared to summarize. You must be prepared to appreciate the speaker. And most importantly, ask questions. Why am I asking you to ask me? I really feel so unhappy when students don't ask me questions. No problem in asking questions. There is no problem with the questions. Problem should be with the answer, right? If you ask me a question, I don't know the answer, so what? I'll be happy. Oh my God. My students ask me questions that I don't know the answer to. I said, go and find out. It will inspire me, right? So if you want to stay in a city, don't try to stay in a city like Mumbai or Navi Mumbai. Stay in a city called curiosity. It is going to help you to know more and more and more. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my dear big children. Okay. Now we come to, hey, what is this? Speaking skills. This was a question which was brought up in the first discussion that we had on the sharing session from polls everywhere, and many of you asked me how can we improve our speaking. The only way you can improve your speaking is by speaking and speaking and speaking. Let me tell you, I was not born in England or America or New Zealand or UK or Australia, right? I was born in a rural area, in a village, right? In Orissa, in a small town, a very small town. But then, over a period of time, I decided, I fell in love with English. I said, okay, I'm going to master English. I'm going to be a teacher of English, okay? So the decision must come that, yes, I want to improve my English. That's the most important thing you have to decide. Every day before going to bed, you ask yourself, what have I done to improve my listening skills? What have I done to improve my speaking skills? When you think of speaking skills, okay, I'll give you simple tips. Number one, think. Don't think in Marathi or Hindi or Urdu. Think in English. This is what is called immersion, assimilation. Okay, I ask you one thing. When you take rice, or when you take fish, or when you take mutton, or when you take dal, or when you take curry, okay, do you become rice or rice becomes a part? Do you become a part of rice or rice becomes a part of you? Hello, my dear friends. Am I making sense? When you take rice, or when you take roti or chapati, do you become a chapati or do you become rice or chapati become a part of you? Yes, anyone please? No answer. Strange. How is that?
Sir, can you again speak?
Arunesh sir, my question was, when you take rice, when you take a chapati, do you become rice or do you become chapati or chapati and rice become a part of you? Have I asked a very difficult question? I don't know why nobody's answering. Okay, but let me tell you, with Arunesh, did you get my question? Arunesh.
Yes, sir.
So what is my answer to the question?
Rice and chapati become part of us.
Ah, so sweet. Jasmeet Kaur madam ab thik bole. Right, that's right. You don't become rice, you don't become chapati, and chapati and rice become a part of you. This is what I call assimilation. This is what I call blending, right? Meaning thereby, when you think of speaking in English, you think of listening in English, you think of reading in English, you think of writing in English, English should become a part of you. That has to come. That will take a bit of time. It is like planting a tree. It doesn't happen overnight. It has to be like a cultivation. They will come to you naturally, spontaneously, automatically, like leaves come to a tree. And for that, you have to make that decisive moment. You have to make that decision. You must have the determination, the dedication, the devotion that, yes, I want to improve my English, right? And for that, you have to think. Before you start speaking, you think. You can jot it down if you like. Link those thinking ideas, those thoughts together, then ink them down. You see, even you find great speakers in America, even you find out the president of America giving a lecture at the United Nations, they go with a script. Why is that? Because they believe in thinking, linking, and inking. Self-talk. How many of you have thought of delivering a lecture, thought of delivering a presentation? You go to the mirror, look into the mirror, and talk to yourself. You try this out. This is very, very effective. If you want to be a good speaker, you must be a good listener. Keep on listening, as I have told you in the previous slide. And prioritize fluency. Forget about grammar. Grammar will come second. What is very important is the fluency. Once you have the fluency, slowly you'll find accuracy will follow fluency. That's not a problem. And if you want to catch up with fluency and accuracy together, you must listen to perfect English all the time. If you listen to good English, I tell you, your English cannot be bad at any cost. Automatically you'll find, like, children pick up mother tongue perfectly because they listen to perfect mother tongue from parents or from relatives. Similarly, if you listen to perfect English all the time from different sources, okay, then automatically I tell you fluency and accuracy will be taken care of. Am I making sense? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So very simple. I'm just giving you simple tips, very, very simple tips, right? Okay. Reading skills. This is what has faded out, Arpita madam, from our list. We have said goodbye to physical books. Everything is on the screen. I know there was a time when you used to blame or scold the children. Why are you taking the phone to the school? Hello, now the whole school is in the phone, right? You cannot say no. What I mean is all the children, whether at the primary stage or at the secondary stage or at the tertiary stage, are on the phone, on the screen all the time. But I would prefer to go for the physical books, because the physical books will give you that feeling of a textbook that you won't find on a screen. Screen will always give you the soft copy, and the soft copy is so soft, it will melt away. It won't stay in your mind. But when you are reading a book, I always catch up with a pencil. I write on the notes, okay, whatever I have understood. Is this idea connected to another idea? Have I read another book where the same idea is there? Can I connect, interconnect? Do you get my point? Don't forget what Steve Jobs has said. Steve Jobs, okay, the founder of Apple phones, has said three things. Number one, connect the dots. Number two, love what you do and do what you love. And number three, stay hungry and foolish for knowledge. Always be curious to know more and more and more. Screen will help you to activate your knowledge, that's fine. But then finally, I believe in physical books, okay? Must read every day, physical books. Number two, set reading goals. You must make it a point. Today, before I go to bed, I must read at least 10 pages in English. If nothing is there, let me read 10 pages from a newspaper. Right? And you see there are thousands and millions of homes where newspapers have stopped coming after television has come in, right? Am I making sense? People have said goodbye to newspapers. People have said goodbye to physical books. People have said goodbye to textbooks. And everything is downloaded from the internet and photocopied. Photocopiers have become millionaires. Am I making sense?
Yes,
Sorry, Apita? Hey, Chital, am I right? The point is, we have to change this culture if we want to improve our reading skills, okay? Set reading goals. That today I'm going to read at least 20 pages or 10 pages. Skimming and scanning. Sorry, I think that I repeated this word. Skimming. Skimming means you read a page, you read a story, right? And then you try to get the gist of it immediately. Scanning. Scanning is another word. Okay, I think I've repeated this word. It should be scanning, 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 right? Means trying to find out the exact meaning of exact words. That can come by prediction, right? You must have reading circles. What are reading circles? Who can tell me? Sital, any idea? What is a reading circle? What is a reading circle? Let's suppose how that you go to, let's suppose you 5 of your friends go to see the same cinema, right? Let's suppose Tare Jamin Par. You see all 3 Idiots, right? Or Lagan, or Dangal. You see that movie. You come back home, and then 5 of you sit down and discuss the theme, how good it was. Do you know Dangal is more famous in China than it is in India? पता है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
क्यों?
No, sir.
क्यों? Why? Who can tell me why Amir Khan cinema Dangal is more famous in China than it is in India? Any guess?
Maybe there is Kung Fu is more famous than wrestling.
Sorry? Yeah, that is one thing. That is one thing. But the real reason is China is another country where there is a baby boy craze. You get my point? There is a
Sorry,
baby
sir,
boy.
I didn't hear.
Sorry, Radhalakshmi.
I didn't hear that point, sir.
Yeah, I mean, China is a country where there's a baby boy craze. Every family wants son and son and son and a son. But that film Dangal tells you that daughters are no less powerful, no less talented, no less capable than the sons. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
In that way, that film is a super hit and a wonderful film, which is a mind-moving movie, right? So reading circles, which again coming back to this point, when you read a good book, read a good novel, you come back and discuss about it, right? You can have literary circles, you can have reading circles, read a good book, come fix up a time with friends or with the teachers, okay, or the teacher, your lecturer has given you a novel, has got given a drama, has given you an essay, okay, 5 of you can read the drama, read the novel, read the essay, come back to a reading circle, come back to a study circle and discuss about the points, okay, raise your points, write down the points, brainstorm, don't blame storm, brainstorm, and then take it to the teacher and you'll find every discussion, every classroom will be interesting, okay. Random reading for vocabulary and decoding. Keep on reading any book, any newspaper, any magazine, and any topic, whether it's in science or spirit, okay, doesn't matter. But keep on reading. I tell you, all great leaders are great readers. Do you know a person like Bill Gates? Who is the Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, okay? He reads 50 books, at least 50 books in a year. He's a voracious reader. If you have Netflix, you go and see a documentary called The Brain of Bill Gates. Will tell you what is his life like. He believes in reading and reading and reading, not just reading, taking notes, making notes, taking notes, making notes. Because when you write on the screen, you forget. But when you write with the help of your pen, your hand is involved, there is a neuro connection. You will not forget. Okay? Writing 1 time is equal to reading 5 times. Have you experimented this? Right?
Yes, sir.
कोशिश करके देखो. कोशिश करके देखो.
Yes,
Try it
sir,
out,
a
please.
lot time.
Yes, sir.
Am I making sense? Arpita, am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
See, so random reading and vocabulary and decoding is very important. Most importantly, summarizing and retention. Please keep on summarizing. Whatever you read, ask yourself, hey, what did I read? What did I understand? What am I going to take away? The most important thing is taking away. What am I understanding from this book, from this lesson, from this essay, from this drama, from this poem, which is going to help me, okay, to digest things better, okay, or to carry it forward in my career, in my life, in my job, in my profession, right, in my growth as a human being. This is the important question that you need to ask, right? Okay, writing skills, very important. This is what our students have stopped doing. I'm giving you very simple tips, right? Must write every day for 1 to 5 pages. Not a big deal. Is it a big deal? I'm not asking you to write a novel, right? Just 1 to 5 pages, make it a point. You write on anything, simple thing, you see. So many things are happening to you every day. If you are going to write about everything, you can write 50 pages. ठीक बोल रहा हूँ कि नहीं? सही है कि नहीं?
Yes,
तो
sir.
फिर why can I not write 5 pages?
Right.
5 pages, not a big deal, right, Chital? Right? 5 pages. You make it a culture. Once you make it a culture, your little brothers, your little sisters will pick up this habit from you. And if you are having your kids in the future, they will also see, oh, Papa is writing, Mama is writing, and also start writing. This has to be a culture in the family. Unfortunately, this culture has become a vulture. We have said goodbye to writing. We have said goodbye to reading, right? All the time we're on the screen. That is why all these good things are going away, you see. I'm trying just to remind you that all the good things are still old. Old is always so gold. And if you don't take this gold, you'll not be bold, you'll be sold. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? So random reading on random topics, maintain a diary and journal. That's very important. Before going to bed, just write 1 page. How was your day? What did go well? What did not go well? What are the things you learned? Did you have a fight? Did you have a smile? Did you have a cry? What are the things you like? What are the things you did not like, right? And how can you improve tomorrow? That's the most important thing. How can I improve tomorrow? And when you write the word improvement, my dear friends, okay, which letter does it start with? Improvement starts with a letter called I. I means me.
Me.
It's me, right? It's me. Unless you are prepared to improve, the world will not improve. Don't blame anybody. When you point one finger at somebody, three fingers are pointing at you. Making sense, right? That is why, right, it's time. It's a question of reflection. So the time has come, mind your friends, mind your big children studying in wonderful colleges, okay? In India, let me tell you, it is time not to watch the internet, to watch the intranet. Ask yourself. Make some introspection. Make some self-analysis. And writing is a wonderful exercise which will give you an idea to introspect, give you an idea to self-analyze, right? These are the things that you need to know. Okay, so these are the simple things which can help you to improve your writing skills, okay? So what do we have? The question you must ask yourself, okay, what do we have and what do we need to have? We're talking about 21st century learners, right? We're talking 21st century jobs, okay? 21st century jobs are looking for self-directed learners. Can you learn on your own? Self-directed learners are globally aware, right? Self-directed learners are community learners. Self-directed learners are problem solvers. 21st century learners are critical thinkers. They're good collaborators. They're highly informative. And they're also financially, economically literate. And they're innovators. I tell you, apply for any job, they will ask you, do you have these skills? Right? So you can take it as a checklist. Write down these ideas and put it on your study table. And before you apply for a job, you ask yourself, do I have these skills? Okay, unless you have the skills, it kills. Okay. So these are the things we need to ask ourselves, right? Yes. So what are the skills and competencies that you should have? The following. What are the competencies that you should have, right? Do you have the following? You must ask, do you have the following? Okay. When you look at the left-hand side, it's talking about the skills, global citizenship skills. Are you prepared to work everywhere? It's talking about innovation and creativity skills, right? Are you prepared to be innovative? Are you prepared to be creative? Are you technology friendly? Do you have the interpersonal skills, right? Interpersonal skills means communication, right? Meeting with friends. Can I come together? Can I keep together? Can I work together? Do I believe in working in team? And team for me is an acronym. What is the meaning of team? Together, everyone achieves more. Do I believe in working in team, right? And see the right-hand side, talking about experiences, right? Personalized and self-paced learning. Are you prepared to teach yourself? Self-help learning. Do it yourself learning, right? Do you believe in accessible and inclusive learning? Are you prepared to get into a system where you can combine and blend? Let's suppose you're studying sociology, right? Sociology is connected to psychology, connected to economics, connected to history, connected to geography, connected to anthropology, right? Are you prepared to see the connections, the interconnections? That is called inclusive education. Do you get my point? Similarly, are you able to look into the problem-based stuff and finding out the solution through collaborative learning? Are you believing in lifelong learning? That's what I call LQ. LQ. If you want to be a good learner, you must be an LQ. What is an LQ? Lifelong learner. Right? Lifelong learner means learning never stops. Are you prepared to learn lifetime? And for that, you must believe in HQ. What is HQ? You must put your head, your heart, and your hands together. Then only you find education will be complete, right? Nature of future career. Forget the past. You are in the present. You must look into the future, right? And what do I mean? Who can explain this to me? Sital, can you explain? When past becomes the present, you lose the future. What does it mean? Who can explain? My dear intelligent students from India. Who can explain this? When past becomes the present, you lose the future. मतलब क्या है?
So, but when we are living in the present, when we are living in the past, we are not actually living in the present, and also we are ruining our future there. Therefore, so when are you living in past? You are actually not ruining the present only, but your future is becoming more degraded. Then, so that's the meaning.
Okay, good. Thank you. I got the point. Thank you. Thank you for interpreting that. And you are a critical thinker. Yes, thank you, Sheetal. Yes, when past becomes the present. Something has happened yesterday. You are spoiling today by thinking of yesterday, and also yesterday and today are spoiling tomorrow. Right? So time has come to say goodbye to the past and then look into the future. When you look at the future, you see the past telling work 9 to 5, now future telling work anytime. You see the future trend of employment, right? You must be prepared to work anytime. You must be prepared to work anywhere. You must be prepared to use any device, any technology. You must be focused on output, okay, whatever the input may be. You must be prepared to create your own career ladder. You must be prepared for customized work. You must be prepared for sharing information. You must be prepared to become a leader. You must believe in collaboration. You must be adaptive. And most importantly, you must believe in democratized learning and teaching. Right? You see the difference in the past and the present? Okay, we are in the present, but looking into the future. The future says all these qualities are important for your job. And if you want to really improve on that, yes, your knowledge of English is coming in a big way to achieve all this. Am I making sense? Thumbs up, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, so you compare the past and the present. Don't say, no, I want to work from 9 to 5. Nobody will give you a job these days. They'll say, are you prepared to work anytime, anywhere, anything? Arpita madam, samajh rahe ki nahi aap?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So these are the things you need to look into when you look into the future, okay? Past was a different syllabus. The future is coming up. You have to prepare yourself today for tomorrow's world. And tomorrow's world is asking for the characteristics of the future. And I've given you here what the future organization is looking forward to, right? The role of English in the future jobs. Yes. English will help you for global citizenship. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. English will help you for innovation and creativity skills. English will help you for tech skills. English will help you for interpersonal skills. English will help you for self-paced learning. English will help you for problem-based learning. English will help you for lifelong learning. There is not a single component where English cannot help you. So that's what I told you. English will be a great help to you. English will give you the cutting edge. That is why I call English is a catalyst. Making sense? Any questions? Yes. These are the top skills that 2025, this is 2022, my dear friends. So when you're looking for a job in 2025, ask yourself, do I have these qualities? Do I have these attributes? Do I have these characteristics? Do I have what it takes to get the best jobs in 2025? And what are these attributes? Number one, analytical thinking and innovation. Right? When you go for interviews, they'll not give you solutions, they'll give you problems. And your job is to find out a solution. Active learning. Are you prepared to learn on your own? Do you believe in complex problem solving? If you are a Mr. Problem, nobody will take you. If you are a Mr. Solution or Miss Solution, everybody will take you because they believe in solutions now, right? Critical thinking, creativity, originality, leadership, technology, designing, programming, resilience, stress tolerance, flexibility. Flexibility very important, you see. Let's suppose you're working in a management company and it's a multinational company and it is working with Dubai, it is working with England, it is working with Malaysia or Singapore or New Zealand, Australia, right? And they have a different time zones. You cannot say, no, I want to work from 9 to 5. Nobody will take you. Are you prepared to work with the time zones? That is why the times have changed, you know. You have to move from what is called IQ to AQ. What is IQ? Intelligent quotient. What is EQ? What do you call? Emotional quotient, right? And now there is something called AQ. What is AQ? Adaptability quotient. Are you prepared to adapt yourself to the new jobs and the new circumstances? Right? You say, no, I want to work in Maharashtra, I want to work in Mumbai, I want to work from 9 to 5, I want to work in this company, I don't want to get transferred. Nobody will take you. Rasri madam, I'm ठीक बोल रही हैं कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Times have changed. When times have changed, we have to change. And if you don't change, my dear friends, you will be out of the range. That is what the saying goes. Either you get updated or you get outdated. Either you shape up or you ship out. Choice is yours. If you don't fit in, there are hundreds of thousands of other people like you in the world who will take up your position. Don't think the position will remain vacant. No, never will it going to happen. There are hundreds of talented people like you who are prepared with all the attributes I'm talking about: analysis, active learning, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, leadership, technology use, resilience, reasoning, all these things, So that is why this should be your checklist. Please, this should be your Bible. This should be your Bhagavad Gita. This should be your Quran. This should be your Granth Sahib. Do print it, keep it on your study table. And before you apply for a job, ask yourself, do I have these qualities? Do I have these attributes? Do I have these points in me? Am I fit to take up a job? They are going to question these things in me. That's very important. And I tell you, if you want to, get into these things, your knowledge of English is going to be of a great help to you. No doubt about that. It has been tried, tested, and trusted for years and years to come. How can we adapt to the new challenges? See, the left-hand side is more important. Left-hand side is talking about learning skills, literacy skills, life skills. All the skills are important. You don't have the skills, it kills. Right? Learning skills, ask yourself, do I have critical thinking skills? Do I have creativity? Do I have collaboration? Can I work in groups? And do I have the power to communicate? If you know how to communicate, it's your solvents. You get into any kind of profession now, it's all a business. And in business, you are a salesman, a saleswoman. Like we as lecturers, we are working in talking shops. We are selling our talks. If we cannot tell, we cannot sell. Last time, madam, ठीक बोल रही नहीं?
Yes, sir.
I'm making sense, right? So it's all about telling. It's all about collaborating. It's all about creatively thinking. It's all about critically thinking. Do you have these learning skills? Very, very important. And I tell you, your learning skills will determine your earning skills. That is why before earning, there is a letter called L. Sure? There was a time, when you work more, you get more. Now the times have changed. You learn more, you earn more. You join as a BA teacher. What is your salary? Like 25,000, 30,000 rupees per month, right? You start as a master's. As a lecturer, your salary may be 50,000. You complete your PhD, your salary will start with 70,000. You have publications, you can go up to 80,000, right? And then you get your experience and you get into conferences, and then you become a professor of emeritus, then your salary goes to different category altogether. What I mean is, the more you learn, the more you earn. These are the learning skills you must have. I'm telling you these things, my dear children, big children, because your life is ahead of you. My sun is setting, your sun is rising. Ask yourself, do I have these learning skills? Literacy skills, very important. You are always on the screen. Most of the time, most of our students are on the screen, either a small screen or a medium screen or a big screen. Sahi hai ki nahi? Pakka? 100%? Most of the time. And there are children, there are school children, college children, they are spending more money on phone and less money on food and drinks. I have seen children keeping their phone just under the pillow, close to the heart. I asked them, why do you keep so close to your chest and heart? They said, no, don't take my phone away. You take the phone away, we'll have a heart attack. These are real stories, my dear friends. People have kept their entire heart, their body, their mind and soul in the phone. Phone is their life. Sahi hai ki nahi? You take a statistics, you'll find. Ask any college children, ask any child studying in the college, you ask these college children, they will tell you that yes, we are mad, completely addicted. This is a kind of new addiction. Screen addiction. You go to South Korea, you go to China, you go to Japan, there are now de-addiction centers where parents are sending their children. What to talk of college children? You see these primary school children, right? And parents have got a wonderful idea now to keep the children busy. They'll give them a phone or an iPad or an iPhone. You get engaged. We are free. We can do our own stuff. Sahi hai ki nahi? We are outsourcing that engagement to the screen. At what cost? Right? Okay, the screen is not a bad thing, provided you know how to make the best use of information, you know how to make the best use of media, you know how to make the best use of technology. It is like a two-way sword. It's like a knife. If you've got a knife, you can cut vegetables and prepare a wonderful curry, or you can stab somebody, right? So we must teach our children, our students, how to use these literacy skills so that they will take themselves on the right path. And most importantly, what most of our students lack are the life skills. Okay, what are the life skills? Flexibility. You come to Singapore, you come to Malaysia, you're working in a company and you say, no, I cannot work after 5 p.m. My wife is waiting, my husband is waiting. Sorry, namaskar. You can go home and rest for the rest of your life. No need to work here. Making sense? Times have changed, my dear friend. There's no more 9 to 5 business. I have shown you that graph. It is anytime, anything, anywhere, www, whatever, whenever, okay, and wherever. Am I prepared to work? Flexibility. Number 2, leadership. You are not working alone. You may be a school teacher, you may be a cleaner, you may be an engineer, you may be a carpenter, you may be a journalist. Finally, at the end of the day, you're working in a team. And do you have the LLQs, leader-like qualities? Can you lead the team? You'll be given a responsibility. Responsibility means the ability to respond. Can you lead the task? Can you get something done? Finally, all managers, all line managers, all bosses will believe in getting things done. Okay, are you capable of doing that? Initiative. Can you bell the cat? Productivity. Okay, is the output matching the input? That's very important. Most importantly, social skills. What is my sociogram? Like if you have a heart problem, you go to a doctor, the doctor will ask you to go for an echocardiogram, right? Similarly, you go for any company, they will ask you to go for a sociogram. What is a sociogram? They'll give you a task. They'll give you one group of students, right? One group of candidates, okay? And now your job is to work within the strangers, okay? Make the strangers as your friends, work in the group. This is the task, and you find out a solution, present it. And the best presenter will get the job. Rest, namaskar. You know what I mean? The meaning thereby, the social skills are very, very important. So this is again a kind of very, very important skill that all of us should have. This is what the world is looking forward to. This is what the new jobs are waiting for. This is what the MNC is looking forward to in any job, in any sector, in any field. If you want the white-collar jobs. What are these white-collar jobs? The white-collar jobs are the C-cube jobs. The C-cube jobs means confident, competent, and charismatic jobs, white-collar jobs. If you want D-cube jobs, what are the D-cube jobs? Dirty, dangerous, difficult jobs. Choice is yours. You have to make a choice. Whether I want the white-collar job or the blue-collar job, C-cube jobs or the D-cube jobs. If you want the C-cube jobs, I'm sure all of you are interested for that. Then you must have the learning skills, literacy skills, life skills. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with me 100%? Arpita madam, boliye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next one. All right. Yes. So with English, you can take the road not taken. Sorry, this is a spelling typo. Okay. With English, you can take the road not taken for 21st century. What do you need? You need critical thinking, you need creativity, you need collaboration, you need information, you need media, you need technology, you need flexibility, you need leadership, you need initiative, you need social skills. I have talked about all the skills, and all the skills can be sharpened like you sharpen a pencil, right? You can sharpen all the skills with the help of English. Be sure about it. It has been tested, tried, and trusted. The only thing is you must be prepared. You must make a promise that I want to improve. And improvement starts with a letter called I. मैं कुछ करना चाहता हूँ. Am I making sense? Sorry, my Hindi is not good, okay? That's very important. Do you understand my broken spoken Hindi?
Yes, sir. थोड़ा सा.
Thank you. Okay. So your power of English will be the gateway to the careers. So remember, my dear friends, communication, the human connection is the key to personal and career success. You don't know how to communicate. You may have done a master's, MPhil, PhD, publication, this and that. You don't know how to communicate. Nobody's going to take you. For sure. 100% sure. You'll not believe in a university like University of Nottingham, you're applying for a professor job. For a professor job, people who have got 35 to 40 years of teaching experience, they will ask you to give a presentation of 20 minutes lecture, 30 minutes lecture. Sure. They would like to see. They would like to see your experience and expertise. They would like to see your people skills, your presentation skills, your persuasive skills. Will you be okay for our students? Will you be okay for our customers? Will you be okay for academia? Will you be okay for our classrooms? So communication is the most important tool, I tell you. This is the human connection. Without that, it is difficult to have personal success or career success for sure. 100% sure, no doubt about it. So you might be thinking, okay, I'm doing English honors or I'm studying English and I don't like to be a teacher of English. Okay, no problem. Career pathways in academics and journalism. Oh, sorry. Okay. If you want to get into education, my dear friends, okay, you can be an academic, you can be an administration, you can be a counselor. What I would tell you is your knowledge of English is going to be a catalyst for all these professions, okay? Journalism, you can be a correspondent, you can be a newscaster, you can be an editor, you can be a script writer, right? Or you want to get into publishing, okay, you don't want to talk, you don't want to be in the front line, you don't want to be on the screen, no problem. You can be an author, you can be an editor, you can be a desktop publisher. हो सकता है कि नहीं? Possible or not? So what I want to tell you is, even if you are studying English, okay, you don't want to become a teacher of English, no problem. English is going to be a big catalyst for so many professions, okay? Let me tell you that. This is about academics and journalism, okay? Career pathways in public relations and business. All these professions, okay, are looking for a wonderful command over English. And when I tell you a command over English, okay, I expect you to have wonderful productive skills in English, spoken English, and written English. Very important. And if you want to master your spoken English, you must be a very good listener, I told you. You want to be a very good writer, you must be a very good reader. At the end of the day, all these four skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing are integrated. You cannot keep them in isolation, right? So let's suppose public relations, okay? You can become a PRO, you can become an event manager, you can be a publicity manager, you can be a media analyst. Still today, our millions of Indian parents think, if my child cannot become an engineer, cannot become a doctor, he's a gone case, he's a dustbin case. सही है कि नहीं बताइए राजश्री मैडम?
Yes, sir.
Okay, इसको हटाना है. This thing must get out of our minds. Our children should know there are hundreds of thousands of other professions where they can use the knowledge of English and they can make a name in the game to get the fame that they're looking forward to. Right? Public relations, okay, management, event management, publicity managers, media analysts, okay, public relations. Come to international relations, business consultants, you can be translators, you can be interpreters, you can be language specialists. Do you know one of my friends is working in Tokyo and his job is just a translator or what we call an interpreter, okay? And he gets 200 USD per hour. 200 USD, hello my dear friends, in India is equal to 15,000 rupees for 1 hour of job. And what is his job? He knows Japanese, he knows English. Bas, utna hi kafi hai aur kya? He knows how to listen, okay? He knows how to listen to Japan, how to understand Japanese, and to speak it out to the clients in English. You see the power of English. You know what I mean? You come and teach English in Malaysia, okay, every hour of English is going to pay you nothing less than 3,000 rupees per hour. What I want to tell you is, if you have the skills, if you have the knowledge, if you have the yearning, that's what I told you, if you want to reach the sky, you must have the sky. Sky for me is an acronym. Sky means skills and knowledge and yearning. Yearning means I want to know more. I want to be the best in my field. You may not be the best, but put in your best at all times, right? So you can be a business consultant, you can be a translator, you can be a language specialist. Think of business, my God, avenues are limitless. You get into business, okay, you can be a sales manager, personal recruiter, you can be an HRD manager, you can be a marketing manager, you can be a labor relation manager, you can be advertising in the advertising company is very good, very creative, and they pay very well. You can be the customer service, you can be a corporate trainer. Okay, this limitless. I'm not talking about engineers and doctors, you see. I'm taking you on a different stream where your power of language is going to change your entire spectrum of the things that you're looking forward to, right? So dream of something where you can be something different, right? Yes. Career pathways in multimedia and web. Okay, you get to the press. You can be national correspondent, international correspondent. You can be a column writer. You can be media analyst. You can be an editor, sub-editor, content writer. I know one of my friends was working in Kuala Lumpur, and he was, his wife was working in Kuala Lumpur as an IT specialist. She left the job and started writing blogs. Okay, for Google. And you'll not believe, every month she gets nothing less than 4,000 USD. Can you imagine? Okay, so writing is such a powerful tool which can really give you so much of money. You don't have to go anywhere. You can sit at home and make money. There are people who are producing videos on YouTube and they get so much money out of advertising. Google pays them, you know. You have got so much of talent. India is full of talent. The only thing is you're always running after a race, a rat race, to become an engineer or to become a doctor. Go and see the Netflix documentary on quota industry. Rajasthan quota. Rajasthan madam thik bata rahi ki nahi? The parents were mad to spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees to see that my son becomes an engineer. My God. But these parents, due apology, no offense, no hard feeling, these parents should understand that our children, with the help of their English, can get into a spectrum of other professions where they can follow their passion. They can do something that they love doing, right? And still they can make their name and they can make their fame, right? Or go to www, the World Wide Web, right? Okay, where you're going to talk about digital content specialists, web content writers, web analysts, social media specialists, right? There are so many professions where you can really make a name in the game to reach the fame. Are you convinced now that English can be a catalyst for your career, for your future, for your dream, for your life, for your college, even if you don't want to become a teacher of English? Okay. The employer, sorry for the typo. Okay. I was typing all that in at high speed. The employers are looking for, number one, expertise and experience, right? Communication skills, critical thinking skills, digital literacy, adaptability quotient, it's called besides IQ and EQ, team dynamics, interpersonal skills, and competence and confidence and charisma. Very important. So you must ask yourself before applying for any job, do I have these 7 attributes? बस इतना ही चाहिए. है कि नहीं आपके पास? You have it, you make it. Don't have it, you break it. Right? So making and breaking is in your hand. That's all I want to tell you. So what are the websites you should be looking forward to if you're looking for a job? Right? Look for Google, look for Monster, look for Glassdoor, look for Indeed, look for Jobstreet, look for LinkedIn. And the most important, I tell you, the most important website, okay, for you would be LinkedIn, because that is going to link you to different professions. Okay, and different professionals in different fields, different walks of life, where you can really find out what they're doing and how you can get connected to them and how you can also apply for a job at the right time to make the best of it, right? So these are some of the wonderful job websites. And not only that, these job websites also, they come with hundreds of thousands of articles, okay, telling you how to prepare for jobs. And I tell you, you can master the websites, you can get the best out of the websites, provided you have mastered your knowledge of English, okay? So tell me 4 things, my dear big children. Tell me 4 things you have learned from our discussion. Quick, 1 minute summary session, quick. Anyone? What are the 4 things we have learned from this session today? Or you want to tell me that we haven't learned anything, I have wasted my time? Jaldi. Quick, please. No response. Strange. How's that? अब देखिए राजश्री मैडम, इसीलिए इंडिया मार खा जाता है. Our children want to listen to everything, they don't want to talk. And we have been talking about communication and communication and communication. All these 90 minutes I have been talking about that. And we don't want to communicate. And we ask questions, okay, how can I improve my speaking skills? Hello, my dear friends, you can never improve your speaking skills unless you speak in English. You can never improve your spoken English unless you speak in English. You can never improve your listening skills in English unless you listen in English. You can never improve your reading in English unless you read in English. And you can never improve your written skills unless you write in English. Very simple. Okay, I go back to the question. Okay. Anybody would like to share the takeaways? 4 takeaways. No response. Yes, anybody please? Anyone? Open house question OHQ. No response. Okay, we are running out of time. No problem. Okay, time for question answers. Any questions? Have I answered all the questions that you asked me in the first sharing session on polls everywhere? Sorry if I have hurt your feelings. Please forgive me. Okay. Any questions, please?
Yeah, students, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself. You can switch on the camera if you don't mind, and you can ask me any question you like on anything that we discussed today.
Okay, I don't think, sir, they have any questions. They have already asked, and you have, yes, you have already answered.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there is a question in the chat box from a student of FI BCom, that is Muskan. She is asking that what is the best way of learning English?
The best way, I'll put it in a simple way. The best way to learn English is to fall in love with English and to immerse yourself with English. By immersion, I mean, right, you have to find out avenues where you can really get opportunities to interact in English, listen in English, to read in English, and to speak in English. Unless the immersion comes, unless the blending comes, unless you get to that environment where you can really speak in English, listen in English, read in English, write in English, English cannot improve. I have seen our Indian students, they go to the UK, they go to America, they go to Canada, they go to New Zealand, they go to Australia, even they come to Singapore, right? And they stay for 6 months, I tell you, their English, the knowledge of English goes up and up and up, and they become so fluent in English. I'm not talking about grammar. Okay, as I told you in the beginning, grammar is not taught. Grammar is caught. If you are the best people who speak good English, who write good English, right, automatically your English will slowly and steadily will become good. The only thing is you have to look for opportunities to improve. That's the only thing. So it is possible as long as you are getting into this kind of a blending process where you and your desire to learn English will become one. Have I made sense? Thank you for the question. Any other question, please?
Yeah, there is one more question from Sheetal Upadhyay. She is asking how to make the learning consistent.
Sorry?
How to make the learning consistent, from Sheetal.
Learning will become consistent when you are consistent. That's very simple. Let's suppose I'm listening to English today. I cannot listen only for today, and then I stop listening for the next 30 days, and then listen on the 31st day. Can we live? Okay, let's suppose we take food today. We don't take food for the next 20 days. Can we survive? How does a body grow? A body grows, a mind grows, okay, because we take healthy food on a daily basis. Similarly, when you want your mind to grow, when you want your English to grow, when you're learning to grow, it must have an input, consistent input every day on a daily basis. Am I making sense? If you have a plant, if you have got a garden, are you not watering the plants every day? Every day gets water, every day gets food, every day it gets sunshine, and every day it gets your love, then only it grows, right? Making sense? Similarly, when you think of consistent learning, you have to ask yourself, am I consistent, right, in the input? Once the input is consistent, the output, I am sure, I can give you guarantee, will be consistent. Chital, have you answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other question, please?
No more questions in the chat box.
All right. I must thank KLA Society Science of Commerce College and Rastri Madam and Fatia Madam for giving me this opportunity to share my views with our children in India. And please do forgive me if I've hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, I'm just trying to share my experience of how we can help our children, big children in the colleges, to fall in love with English and to do well in life, in any walk of life. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you, Rajshri madam. Thank you, Fatima madam. And thanks to all our participants, to the entire audience for being with me for almost 2 hours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an power-packed, enlightening and interactive session and the valuable thoughts you expressed during the webinar, and also briefing students about the importance of English for one's career growth. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. Also, thank you for clearing everybody's doubt. I request Dr. Fatima Sheikh, Head of English Department, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rajeshri
Rajshri
madam.
madam. Thank you.
A very good evening to one and all. As Head of English Department, I take an opportunity to record my heartfelt gratitude on the occasion of this international level webinar on behalf of KLE College, Kalamboli, Navi, Mumbai, Maharashtra, India fraternity. Firstly, I shall thank our KLE management for being a staunch support in all the events of academic nature. Next, I shall extend a sincere gratitude to our Honorable Principal, Dr. G.D. Giri, for being a constant source of inspiration and guidance in all walks of our institutional affairs. Next, I shall extend a sincere next, I shall take an opportunity to thank today's international resource person, eminent and resourceful Associate Professor, Dr. Pradip K. Mishra, for highlighting the importance of English language for making a career globally. I thank you, sir, for clarifying all the queries very precisely and very smoothly. I put a note with thanks the efforts taken by Assistant Professor Rajeshri Borkade Madam while anchoring today's event beautifully. I express gratitude towards faculty members, students, and all the participants from within and outside India to have participated enthusiastically while making this webinar happen smoothly. Apologies if I may have missed out mentioning someone and fallen short of words while proposing word of thanks to each one of you. Thank you all once again and have a great evening and take care and good care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatia ma'am. Thank you, Rajshri madam. And thanks to all our participants. Okay. Wish you a wonderful weekend. Stay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Happy
sir.
weekend.
Thank you so much.
Namaste, namaskar, jai mata di.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.